I agree with you. I think that's kind of, I'm from the Lower East Side, so I feel that kind of connection, like you can see it happening in place, you know. So what are you doing as an organization to prevent further action against what the EDC is doing?
Well, we're secure in this space. If we lose the space, room 103, the galleries for the time being won't be affected. But you know, then we don't know what's going to happen because they keep keeping us in the dark. They don't want to give us a timeline. They just want us to meet their requirements, and we just got to weigh it out, you know. We could do various things, but right now we're dealing with the mandate that they're what they're demanding, and trying to keep our programs going, you know. Keep providing the services that we do provide. A lot of our people on Wednesday, they come here to dance, and it's like, it's like the only thing that they have, and they say, how could this happen, and all that. But that's what's going on. We'll see what happens later. We might have to go to court. We might have to take them to court, or whatever. Till now, for now, we're just dealing with situation as is. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions about the EDC?
About the EDC, no. I kind of wanted to go through more of the historical trajectory.
Yeah. So you started talking about this, about it used to be, a vacant space across the street and everything like that. And well, we've heard through the grapevine that you had a lot to do with kind of starting up a lot of the, not that part, but just the changes and with, creating life kind of here in this community. So what is the history of Julio de Vargas Cultural Center or Julia, I keep doing that, Julia de Vargas Cultural Center, and...
Well, unfortunately, the artists come into the community. It happens throughout New York City, and they develop the spaces, and they bring the quality of life issue back into the community by creating positive activities like workshops, cultural, educational, things like that. And then the community starts to pull itself by its own bootstraps, like they say. And then the landlords come in and raise all the rents, and then they drive the artists out, and then so that's happening here.
Yeah.
You want to join here, or?
Yeah.
Are you gonna do this by yourself, or you wanna?
No, if you guys
want to, we can stay together because.
So what's happening? So what happens? The artists. It's like a double-edged sword, You come in, you create something, something positive, and then it's turned over by the money establishment. It happened in Soho. Soho at one time in the late 60s, early 70s was basically, after 6 o'clock you could find a person in there.
Yeah,
that was all basically
factories
and all that. And then the artists came in, they developed lofts, they developed exhibition spaces and all that. They were driven out. Anyway, so back to the Julia de Burgos. The Julia de Burgos is like, we've been here since 1970, and as part of our tenure in this community, we've been able to develop the Museo del Barrio, or help develop the Museo del Barrio. And we helped develop the Heckscher building, which is the Boys Harbor building, which is now a whole multicultural or multi-arts educational complex, which houses the Museo de Barrio, Boys Harbor, Raíces Music program,
Yeah.
and other organizations. Then from there, we established developing 2 buildings for artist residencies and artist studios. And then from that, we came to develop the Julieta Burgos Cultural Center. This was about 15 years ago or more right now, right? Before that, it was about 5 years in negotiations, meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So the building was an eyesore there, and the whole block was an eyesore. This was abandoned, broken windows and all that. And Luis Cancel was the commissioner of Department of Cultural Affairs at that time. So he was with, you know, sort of like an outside. And there was the Association of Hispanic Arts and a few other organizations that were also involved in creating this. So we finally got, Koch was the mayor at the time. He exceeded an amount of money the seed money to start creating this as a cultural center. And from there on, it was developed. You know, it took a while, and then we moved in, and everybody moved in. But what I mentioned before about the discrepancy between the Department of Cultural Affairs and EDC happened, and then that's where this started to happen. You know, this no leases, and then no support.
No leases for 15 years.
No support.
We've been functioning like that.
Okay.
No major support from any of the cultural institutions, especially the Department of Cultural Affairs.
Yeah.
Very few, very small grants and all that. So you know, there hasn't been the support system for this to become a cultural center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So being that you didn't get support from, you know, the larger, like the Cultural Affairs Department and you know, support from Koch, like all these kind of, you know, governmental institutions and agencies and stuff, where was the basis of your support, and how are you able to make it last from, you know, 15 years ago to now?
Well, we generate our own income plus fundraise, you know, different fundraising, different programs, educational programs, and I mean, we have a whole track record of different events and to you know, to create, you know, income and all that.
Yeah,
and
the
then
thing
volunteering and donations.
Volunteer, and the thing,
and
the biggest one is that we pay a lot of rent here, so it takes away from the programming. So we do a lot of stuff. We work and we don't get paid a lot of the time, you know, or it's very hard, you know, it's very hard. We don't have a large staff. You know, the staff has to do 20 jobs, you know what I mean? So that's how we've been functioning. So far, everything has come up good, but the fact is that legally and politically, this building was made for a purpose, and it was for a cultural institution. The city, what it has done with it is milk it away with the rent, and then plus they have the school on the second floor, which we love to have school, but the third floor, they have like 2 floors, but they're not supposed to be there. They're supposed to be for arts organization. Yes. So it's you know, it's very conflicting because there's only 3 organizations here. You probably told them that was Los Pleneros.
No, I didn't specify which ones.
It's only 3 organizations. Los Pleneros, the traveling theater. Cultural organization. The Puerto Rican Traveling Theater, which they're also struggling. They have the Raúl Julia unit, which is, you know, they teach students, you know what I mean? Because she has the theater on 47th Street. And us. So mainly, you know, what El Taller has mainly done is like invite every other organization to come and do programming with us because they don't have a place, or maybe, you know, they don't have a place, but they want to do the programming, and we serve as that conduit.